Sooners coming off a big win over then number 4 Alabama to move up to 8th in the latest CFP rankings, going for their 19th straight home win against Missouri. We'll pick it up mid-second quarter. Oklahoma trailing at this point 3-0. John Mateer hits Isaiah Satania, the third, turns on the Jets. He is gone for an 87-yard touchdown, and the Sooners up 7-3. Oklahoma only had 17 yards total on their previous 3 drives to start this game. Next Sooners drive from the Mizzou 8. Mateer, Giovanni Gibson over the middle for the touchdown. Oklahoma up 14-3. Oklahoma has scored in all 32 red zone trips so far this season. Late third quarter, Mizzou down 17-6 from their own 40. Perbula airs one out to Kevin Coleman Jr., who's in double coverage, intercepted though by Jacoby Johnson. That is Perbula's 8th interception of the game. Remember, his first game back in quite some time. Next Tigers possession, Perbula airs one out to Coleman down the sideline. This time he connects, gain of 37, but a few plays later, looking for Coleman in the end zone. This time he cannot make the catch. Turnover on downs. It wouldn't be the end of Perbula's struggles, though. Spoiler alert here. Next Missouri drive. He's looking for Daniel Blood here, intercepted by Eli Bowen. And Oklahoma goes on to win it 17-6. Oklahoma now with 5 or more wins against a ranked team in the same season for the first time since 2016. And this makes it their 19th straight home win against Missouri. They now improve to 9-2 on the season, taking another big step forward to the college football playoff. We will wait and see where they rank on Tuesday with the latest CFP rankings. But next up, LSU on deck. In one of just 2 ranked matchups in week 13 in college football between number 8 Oklahoma and number 22 Missouri, Oklahoma's defense comes up big, holding both Perbula and Missouri to just 6 points. This was the 2nd interception of the game, and the Sooners now improved to 9-2 on the season, taking another step forward to the college football playoff with LSU on deck. For much more on this, we welcome you inside our CBS Sports HQ studios for our post-game coverage. Let's start with you, Damien Harris, and your biggest takeaways from this one.
My biggest takeaway is I'm nervous for this Oklahoma team. I'm very, very nervous. I feel like their defense is great. We know that, but they are relying too heavily on their defense to save the day for this offense. It's almost like A.J. Brown is complaining about this offense, talking about, oh, man, well, we got to pull our weight. Oklahoma, their offense, they've got to start pulling their weight. Danny, you said something, you hit on something earlier. John Mateer, since his injury, we're talking about he's not as crisp as he was before. No, this is the way he's played all season long, and it's finally starting to catch up to this offense. They never have a rhythm. They can't establish a run game. They're just not really doing anything well. I mean, the early touchdown that we saw, that was a product of, it was a great play call against tight man coverage. They ran a great man beater. It was a 5-yard pass that turned into an 80-plus yard touchdown. Like, they schemed that up. But offensively, the Sooners have a lot of problems. And I can say this, we confidently said it during the break. This LSU team that they're going to play next week, they're better than Missouri played today. The teams that Oklahoma's going to have to face in the college football playoff, if they make it there, they're going to be better than this Missouri team that they played today. So offensively, they got to pick it up.
Yeah, the issue for OU defensively, guys, they play against 2 offenses, Mizzou offense and their own, because their offense has become a liability with John Mateer. John Mateer threw for 173 yards, right? 173. 87 came on 1 play. 87 came on 1 play. So if you take that 87-yard play away, he has pedestrian-like numbers, which is unacceptable for a guy that has the experience that he has playing college football. Now, he ran the football effectively. Most of those yards happened in the 4th quarter, but outside of that, their defense had to bail them out. Their defense bailed them out last week.
Yep.
They didn't win because their offense, at some point in time for a team to have the playoff mentality they have, their offense has to be more of an asset than a liability. To Damien's point, and we all agree, LSU, they don't have a lot to play for.
Nope.
But in terms of what they have going on right now, they will give you more energy than what Mizzou gave you today.
100%.
And if your offense does not play better, it's going to be a long, long weekend if you happen to come in and have the same offensive mentality and you lose to LSU. Woo! And you don't make the play, because if they lose next week, depending on how the landscape shakes out, they probably would be out. A 3-loss Oklahoma team would be out. So they got to get more play from the offense, guys.
I mean, look, Missouri had 4 drives inside the 20. They scored 6 total points. Like, you got to cash in opportunities when you actually get a chance to get down there. They had the 1 field goal blocked. I thought they probably should have gone for it on the other one, because like 1 touchdown could be such a big difference in a game like that. But look, with Mateer 0 in the turnover column, right? This is probably the best case right now for Oklahoma. I don't think they have more in the tank offensively. Like, this is kind of probably the best it's going to get. Defense plays hair on fire, play their butts off. Offense doesn't turn the ball over. You hope to win these very tight margin games. Like, this is kind of what it's probably going to have to look like if they do anything.
But
it's very clear the coaches have set John Mateer aside and said, don't turn the ball over. But what is concerning to me was in the 3rd and 4th quarter, it looks like they don't trust John Mateer.
Yes.
Like, they shut it down.
Yes.
I know, and they shouldn't, but you cannot win against teams that are just as good as you going forward. So I don't think they're a threat to win the national championship or maybe even win a playoff game. Maybe if it's at home, because the defense is good enough to win you some games. But they're going to have trouble closing out games. They almost didn't close this one out.
So that is the exact point I want to go around and get your thoughts on, because with this win, Sportsline now gives Oklahoma an 87% chance to make the college football playoff. Going back to your point, he has clearly been different since that hand injury, right? And to play off Danny's point, can you go on to win a playoff game playing like this?
no. Oklahoma can't, because because of exactly what Danny just said. They don't trust the guy. If you don't trust your quarterback, how do you have confidence to go win a football game? We sit up here and talk every day, every weekend about how football is a quarterback-led position. If you don't have confidence in your quarterback, how do you have confidence that you're going to win a football game? I don't care how good your defense is, because guess what? You're going to have teams that have just as good of athletes on offense as your defense has, that plays just as fundamentally sound on offense as your defense does. To B-Mac's point, that's when your offense has to become an asset. And when the coaching staff, the head coach, the offensive coordinator tells their quarterback, do not throw the football under any circumstances, again, that's nothing short of a problem.
When you look at the teams that are currently fighting for a playoff spot, or if the playoffs were to start today, you look at their offenses. They're all better than Oklahoma.
Every single one of them.
I mean,
I got a question, because the bracket as it stands now, Oklahoma will be hosting Notre Dame.
I like Notre Dame.
Wow.
Now, had I had an opportunity to talk a little bit, what we saw from Oklahoma, what we saw even from the start of the game, Missouri, granted, the defense held Missouri to 6 points. The first couple, Missouri was moving the football. They just started playing catch-up because of that one explosive play. Then they were in catch-up mode. Then Ahmad Hardy gets taken out of the game. But again, just Oklahoma, they're not moving the needle enough offensively, and their defense is not going to be able to save.
It's too much. It's too much on the defense's plate week in and week out for them to play lights out like they did last week, like they did tonight, to win. In playoff football, when you're playing good on good, you need some help. You need some assistance. And right now, John Mateer, like I said, he has too much experience to be this up and down as a quarterback.
And what about this? What about when Oklahoma plays a team who's really good defensively, and they take the ball away from John Mateer once, maybe twice? What does that do? That makes your defense play more reps on the field. And then what do? They stop playing as fundamentally sound. They stop playing their techniques because they're tired. So that's what B-Mac is talking about when he says Oklahoma's defense is playing against 2 offenses. Their own offense has a chance to put their defense behind the 8 ball by putting them on the field with too many plays.
One of the more frustrating things for a defender when your offense has been so bad. And us as defenders, we never want to say it or make a scene on a national televised game because the cameras are always watching. But as soon as we come off the football field, we sit down to go over our adjustments. Punt team, get ready. They just got the ball. We punting already.
Or defense is up. Defense is up.
We up already. Come on. So this is unacceptable because we thought John Mateer would be a Heisman favorite at one point.
Yes.
Right?
A
potential legit first-round selection. All of that has deflated based on the inconsistencies. But they won. They have another week to breathe, exhale. But they better be better next week against LSU because that last game of the season, man, could you imagine OU fans if they lose next week?
Third straight game for John Mateer with under 200 passing yards. We'll leave it there with their offense because I do want to get to the defense that obviously overwhelmed Bo Prabula and company today. Let me ask you this, B-Mac. How impactful could that targeting call on Reggie Powers actually be for next week's game against LSU? He will be out the first half of the game. Still kind of waiting to see the impact that Spears Jennings, he went down with injury. How impactful could that be next week?
Very, because of the transparency they have in the back end, the communication. That secondary is really, really good.
Right.
Yes.
And they do a great job in communicating pre-snap alignment, not to mention the tackling they display week in and week out in the back end. So if you lose one of your leaders, not just from the physical side, but just from the communication side, that could be a tall task. First and foremost, the NCAA, throw that out.
Thank you.
Like, the first targeting should be a 15-yard penalty, and now that's your warning. If you get hit with another one within the same ball game, then you should be ejected. That's not right. We don't see pros get thrown out for one targeting. For these kids that are trying to fight for their lives in terms of college opportunity, not to mention NFL opportunity as well, it's not a situation. They're not blatantly running into people with their heads. Football is a fast sport. You got to make a split decision right now, and they're not doing these things intentionally. For these kids to be thrown out for one targeting penalty, it's unacceptable and it's not right.
Let's look ahead.
Bring back spearing, like that, like a penalty is spearing. Like it has like real intent to it. Like if you're seriously going for like a kill shot on a guy who's like actually defenseless and they're like, fine, I'm cool with that. But like so much is just bang bang, man.
And you know what else you could do is you could review it during the week. Let the conferences let them go look at it. If it is a spearing and you want to suspend them, then do it. But to do it automatically makes no
and take
sense.
them out of the game right now.
Makes no sense.
Well, and not only taking them out of the game, you're taking, like in this situation, you're taking away an opportunity for next week in a game that Oklahoma has to win.
I will say this, even with injuries in the secondary potentially, they've had both of these last two games without R. Mason Thomas, who is probably the best defender for Oklahoma's defense. So if they get him back, could help.
I think he'll be back for the playoff thing.
Right.
I don't think he's coming back in the regular season.
Let's go ahead and look ahead to Tuesday, but I'll come to you on this. What's your prediction of where Oklahoma will be ranked?
Probably, unless somebody like loses ahead of them, probably about the same spot. Like they're playing the same game they've been playing for the past month, or really like for a lot of the season, to be honest. I think that they are. Look, if they go 10-2, that's a very worthy playoff resume. They also beat Michigan, which is a pretty decent team out of the Big Ten, and I don't think they're like hopeless in a playoff game. They just need a lot of stuff to go right for them. They have to be able to play like their form. They only have one way to win, right? Like it's a very narrow path. It's a path that's doable, but like if you said, like if they get Notre Dame, I'm just fairly confident Notre Dame's going to be able to score in like the mid-20s because the quarterback's an NFL kid. They have real weapons. Like they'll probably have some ugliness, but like I think Notre Dame's defense can make Oklahoma's offense look bad because everybody does.
Danny, where do you think they'll rank?
I think they'll sit right in the same spot.
Right.
You know, barring an Oregon loss today, you know, whatever happens, I think Oklahoma's just going to hold serve.
On the same page, boys?
I agree.
All right. So I hate to bring it up with the win, but I do think they did take an L today with those uniforms. What was up with those? I know you weren't a fan. I know, Damien, you were not a fan of
Damien
those.
Harris wasn't a fan.
Yeah.
Was that military appreciation
I'm
or
not gonna
something?
lie.
I think it might have been.
Because it says like unity on the
on
back
the
of the jersey. So I'm guessing it's military appreciation.
Yeah, they
Oh,
were
well,
ugly.
they got to get better. They got to get better.
Not a fan. That's why they probably
There,
almost was
gentlemen.
ugly
So they
today.
would have been on the road during Veterans Day week.
Yeah.
Which was last week. So this is probably their first home
That's
game.
probably why.
I'm trying to think through this.
All right, we'll give it to them.
Trying to figure it out.
We will have full highlights from this big SEC matchup. Oklahoma gets the win, now one step closer to the college football playoff and improves to 9-2 on the season. We will have full highlights from this one on the other side. Stay with us.